Cathaoirleach, and first just to say that I'm delighted to have been selected last night as the Labour candidate in the Dublin Bay South by-election. I just want to thank all those who supported me and look forward to the campaign, although being conscious that we will be, of course, very mindful of public health guidelines as we come through this awful pandemic, which has caused so much heartbreak to so many. And I know that issues around healthcare, around decent public services and around housing will be to the fore in the by-election campaign, and I look forward to that. And I would, Leader, ask that we might have a debate indeed on care, in particular care for older persons in our community. I've called for a new fair deal scheme to enable supports to be provided for people who wish to remain in their own homes rather than prioritising state funding for institutional care or nursing home care. So to give people an option as they age, and I would love to have that debate here. Could I also, Leader, thank you for organising the debate last night on Gaza with Minister Coveney. I was proud to speak on that, and just to reiterate the calls I and others made on Minister Coveney to ensure that Ireland takes a strong voice at the United Nations Security Council to seek an end to the awful slaughter of civilians and of children. Could I, Leader, ask for a debate also on the processing of visa applications? I'm very conscious that the Department of Justice has put a hold on the processing of new visas due to the pandemic, and the Immigrant Council and Doras Bui have both called eloquently for a change in policy, and they have pointed out the impact on separated families. But there's also a serious impact on businesses. One business in my own area in Dublin Bay South, Shimak, the restaurant owned by Garrett Fitzgerald, is a case in point. They have a commis chef, Joaquim, who has been stranded indefinitely in Chile. I have their permission to name them, and indeed Rob O'Hanlon of Virgin Media News has highlighted this case. They are now down 40% of the staff they should have, and they're not alone. So many businesses, as we reopen, are going to be facing difficulties and strain without availability of staff, and we need to ensure a return to swift processing of visas, Leader. So I would ask that we would bring the Minister in to discuss this, the strain on families and on businesses. And finally, could I just remind Senator Mullen, when he speaks about bias in our national broadcaster and RTE, could I remind him that 3 years ago, next Tuesday, the people voted by 66% to repeal the 8th Amendment, and perhaps that needs to be stressed again, that we have repealed the 8th Amendment, that we have, I didn't interrupt you,
Senator Bacic, without interruption, please.
The people have spoken. The Oireachtas have voted and indeed have passed legislation. Terminations of pregnancy are legally available in Ireland for women, and women need those reproductive health services. And I'm proud to have been one of the people who campaigned for repeal of the 8th Amendment, but we all stand in solidarity with the result of that referendum.
Out of the debate when you were in a minority.
I think
that's
it's a bit rich to complain now, 3 years on, about the result of that referendum.
No, Senator Bacic, you were in... Please, Senator.
Not pro-abortion, pro-choice.
Senator Bacic, you're entitled to an extra minute if you wish, because you were interrupted, so I'm not going to cut you off early.
Well, thank you, Cathaoirleach, for that. And I would just say, this is an issue on which language is important. We have to remember the thousands of women in Ireland who've had abortions, their families, women who face crisis pregnancies, the awful, catastrophic diagnosis so many women and families have faced of fatal fetal abnormality. And we need to be sensitive in our language and to talk about people being pro-abortion, as Senator Mullen consistently does.
Again, Senator Mullen, please.
That is insensitive.
Bacic, without interruption.
And it doesn't reflect the reality. Those of us who campaigned for repeal are pro-choice. We want to see women having choice. And women in Ireland now do have that choice, thanks to the campaigners and thanks to the people who voted in support of repeal 3 years ago.
Senator Mullen, please. Senator Bacic, without interruption. I'd ask senators to have respect for the rules of the House. When a senator is on their feet during the order of business, it is the senator's time, and everybody gets their time.
On a point of order, Cathaoirleach, could I just make the point? I will agree that I interrupted Senator Bacic, but Senator Bacic has a different technique. On numerous occasions, I have heard her raise points of order that are not points of order at all, simply in order to make her political point. Okay. So I think sauce for the goose has to be sauce for the gander, even if the goose and gander are operating in slightly different ways. And I have never known you, Cathaoirleach. I have never known you, Cathaoirleach, to give me an extra minute when Senator Bacic jumped up with a bogus point of order to interrupt me. Thank you.
I sat and listened to Senator Mullen. I sat and listened to his insensitive language, and I responded as was my right, as was my time on the order.
And Senator Mullen is aware of the rules of the House, and for Senator Mullen to intervene in a debate or when some other senator has possession of the debate, they have to ask permission, first of all, under Standing Order 39, and it is up then to the senator who is in possession to either allow the senator to have their 30 seconds or not. And Senator Mullen, sorry, and we're
on
not
a point of order,
discussing-
No. On a point of order, Cahill.
Moving on.
I've asked for a point of order, Cahill, and I'm entitled to be heard on a point of order, Cahill.
No.
Am I not entitled to be heard on a point of order, Cahill?
You've already raised
I'm going to
you
ask you.
already tried to do that, Senator,
If you
and it wasn't a point
if you
of
were
order.
going to privilege somebody with an extra minute because they're interrupted, will you introduce a penalty for them when they introduce a bogus point of order, which is Senator Batchick's repeated technique? And I applaud her talent, but I have to point out that she is in breach of standing orders when she does it.
I'm not in breach of anything today. I sat and listened to Senator
Not today, I will agree, Senator Batchick, but you're a past master at using bogus points of order.
Could I just say this, Gaelic? This morning I sat at the commencement matters when the Senator consistently interrupted and barracked a government minister. So this is his own pattern of behaviour in this House.
Senator Mullen,
I may occasionally heckle, but Senator Batchick introduces bogus points of order.
Can I just point out, Senator Mullen, you're well aware of Standing Order 39, and in Standing Order 39, if a senator is interrupted, the chair has the discretion to add extra time because of the interruption. Okay, so that is within the standing orders.
I will hold you to that standard. So the next time I'm interrupted, as occasionally happens, I will be watching to see whether you show as appropriate equal parity or parity of esteem.
In relation to that, Senator, but when you are interrupting a senator or asking to intervene in a debate when a senator is in possession, you must simply ask permission. That is the rules of the House.